get our data across, we want to go ahead and set our data whenever we click on this. Whenever we click on this, then we should go ahead and set our data, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We need to go and visit nearby. Okay, our nearby component. So whenever we are navigating here, we should also set the object to our context, because we've already wrapped our app with the restaurant context. We didn't do that. Okay, we didn't wrap it in a restaurant context, but okay, we don't have it here, so that's the one thing that we have to do. So I bet we've created the context, but we are not using it. So if you visit context, we have restaurant context. Okay, so that's the context that we want to use. So we go back to our app.js. So in our app.js, we're going to create two new state variables. So we're going to call it restaurant. I'm just going to call it restaurant object. Okay, obj. And right here, our setter is going to be restaurant obj. Set restaurant obj. Okay, so we need to use our context. We need to wrap our app with this context, and then we can go ahead and use this context in our other pages. So we go down here, we're just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here, and right at the bottom I'm going to copy this as well, and I'm going to paste it here. So the first thing that we need let's see, what's the name of the context? The name is restaurant context. Okay, it's supposed to be restaurant context here, and we have to do the same for the one above here. Okay, but I'm sure we don't have our restaurant context imported, so we need to import it. So we're just going to copy one of our contexts here, restaurant context, and we need to map it to the restaurant context like that. So we need to have a restaurant obj, and we need to set that object. Let's save. Okay, we don't have an error, so that means we've successfully hooked this object. So right now we go back to our nearby components, nearby. So the way that we're navigating here, we have to change it a little bit. We have to put this in a brace, and then we're going to have another function. So right on top, we need to import our context. Restaurant obj, and then set restaurant obj. Like that. We're going to have use context hook, and we want to consume restaurant context. Okay, so we're going to use the setter here. and we're going to send the item. Okay. So now if we click here, we're sending context to our restaurant object. Okay. So when we come to this page, we can just retrieve the information. So let's take, for example, if I open directions, right? In directions, if I go ahead and have const, okay, the easier way, I can just come right here. Not that one. Let's just write restaurant obj set restaurant obj, and here we're consuming using the use contexts. Okay, and we have to mention the context that we're consuming, right? So if I just log this data, I should have something in there. In addition, every time that I visit a different restaurant, then the data should be different. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have this data, 15 minutes. La Pizarra Eatery. That's where we are right now. So if we press back and click another one, then we're going to get the context of that particular restaurant. So that's how we're going to be pushing data to our TabView. Okay. So we're done with that part. Next, let's just go ahead and play around with our designs, and then we can move forward. So we're going to just start with the directions. We can start with the directions, put a map, and then we can focus on the other two.